Hello, let's have another try with the Wizard's Crown from 1986. This time, very hopefully, we will not encounter any electricity or other issues, and hopefully do get through some parts of the game. So here we are again at the inn, and we are playing the Atari ST version because the PC version was not, even for the standards of the day, especially good looking. This at least has proper mouse support and looks a bit better than the CGA graphics that the PC version had. So also in that respect, this should be considerably nicer. And as also started at last time, we should first inspect the overall party of adventures. We are going to use the pre-built one because it would otherwise require creating 8 new adventurers, so it's rather preferable, at least for the first game also in this series, to use the pre-made party, which contains several interesting types name-wise, like Lord Miles of Earthlake, Sir Cole of Westmarch, very good this far, Sir Frederick from apparently no specific place, nicknamed Battle Axe Harold, sounds like a barbarian, Lightfoot, which sounds like a rogue. Then we have this guy who I think is he from the French clergy or something, and then we have clearly a clergyman, the Father John, and Soulwind, which makes me suspect it would be a sorcerer or wizard. The manual, I actually did read the manual. The manual specifically states that you should usually create only one sorcerer, due to that they develop slowly in this game. So the manual actually gives most probably sound advice to the user even, so it's very useful to read all 24 pages of it, which also shows that the character creation is pretty complicated, because actually the manual has full several pages of appendix only on character creation. This game very much aims for detail, because it also, for example, has full detailed tactical combat with modeling for various items like shields, protect only from the direction of the shield hand and from the front directly, but not from behind or from the direction of the weapon hand, which is very logical and realistic, but most probably that kind of detail usually doesn't bring much more to your game proper, especially because modeling this kind of aspect usually is done by just that shields provide protection all around, adding to the protection provided already by the armor if worn. But yes, let's continue with checking the rest of the characters. So let's see, Mr. Battle Axe, who clearly is using a battle axe, so we hope he also has a good skill for that. Let's see in the next screen. And yes, he does have best skill for axe, scan 10, so we have the other 2 first characters would be better for the point man, which is actually also presents the tactical nature of the game, that you have to choose which of the adventurers is leading your party forth, and depending on the scan rating of the point man, you might get ambushed more or less, and you can also choose the distance he moves upon, so it may affect whether he makes it to the rest of the adventuring party during ambushes. So it's actually very detailed also in that respect in this case. And let's then see about the rest. Mr. Lightfoot, who also has a dagger, and he also has various clearly rogue related skills like picklock, disarm trap, search and stealth. His scan rating is actually 57, so compared to all the earlier ones, this guy should clearly be our point man. Doesn't surprise me, so the rogue should lead. And there was also a recommendation that early on you should lead only by 2 squares, because otherwise you might be in trouble with getting your party together for ambushes. So in that respect also the manual again contained a bit of actually actionable information. So let's see next the Fulnar Netehom. And he has a mace and a shield and prayer level 8 and karma 62, current karma 62. So this is for priests. Prayers lower this and they need to visit a temple to increase their rating with their deity to be able to cast more prayer type spells. So in this respect also it seems that Mr. would be a clergyman, as we slightly suspected. And let's then see about the Father John. The manual also recommended that you should have 2 priests, so I strongly suspect that this will be our other priest. Yes, karma 61, prayer level 8, and we also have priest type skills like first aid, treat poison, treat disease, turn undead. The skill system is also very detailed for the era. Remembering this is from 1986, this would seem like considerably newer game, considering the detail in terms of skills and the tactical aspects. So actually this was pretty advanced for the day, but was considered a pretty hard game to master. And then we have our Soul Wind, who appears very clearly that he would be a sorcerer with only leather armor and dagger, and also evaluate magic, cast spell, maximum power, current power 5. So there we have the spellcaster types, rogue and the classical couple of like swordsmen, and the kind of barbarian type build with the battle axe. So also in that respect appears quite typical for a game of this type. So now we are actually ready to go forth, as we know our adventuring party better. So let's exit and then see the options in the inn. So you can create new adventurers, which actually creates new characters, which would lead to the character creation part of the game. Then we can tell minstrel of our deeds, which actually is save game in this game. The description isn't very informative, but again the manual explains this. So as it's usual with the older games, it's a good idea to read the manual. Then we can check a character, as we did. We look through the adventuring party. We can improve a character. We of course do not yet have any experience to do that with. We can have a character quit the party. That we do not of course want to do currently, but we could replace characters if we created new ones. We can view items stored at the inn. We of course haven't stored anything at the inn yet. We can also outfit the character, which somewhat surprisingly it actually changes how the character is displayed in the game screen. I tried that earlier on when testing this out. Move money around, so you can either divide gold or get gold to the characters that will be spending it. And then we can exit the inn. So let's venture forth. Have all characters leave inn. Yes, we could leave some at the inn also, but we want to have at least 8 out. So now who will be our point man? And as I said, easily the rogue has the best scan rating, so let's put him on point and point man lead. So we choose how far we want the man on point to lead. Let's choose 2 as the manual recommends. And now we see the Atari ST loading cursor, the cute bee. There we go. Now we are in the map proper and we can search area, check a character or make camp. And as we are at the inn, we should most probably move out. So we are at the residential section, and the game also explains in the manual that you should at first defeat like various petty criminals or thugs in the residential section before venturing anywhere more dangerous. So let's try and see if we can find some trouble. Most probably not here, because we are getting just nothing found, so let's continue. So we haven't yet clearly succeeded finding trouble. I think this is the temple, but we have full karma, so we could of course check out the temple in any case, which apparently didn't do much. Pray as long as you want. Apparently only possible to regain karma there. Let's try to find some trouble. Alright, the party sees some thugs chasing a young girl. Of course we help, we are like very good characters, so let's try and help her out. Alright, we learn also. I live in mansion out of town to the northeast. Surely her parents would be happy. So let's try to keep that in mind for future, or at least future sessions. And now we most probably have to deal with the ducks themselves. Let's for now use quick combat to get the hang of the game, otherwise, because the whole tactical combat is at least advertised in the manual to take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, so let's try the quick combat for now, especially if we are facing like two thugs only. Alright, we are clearly reducing the number of thugs, and also found some money. Not bad. And everyone is okay. It apparently automatically camps after the combat. We do not really need to pray for healing, because it appears we are doing quite well. Let's check about like have we lost any hit points. It doesn't seem so, as life is still at 55, for example, for this character, so I don't think we need any healing. Looks pretty good here, so most probably everyone is okay after the combat, so let's exit and exit the camp. So there, so we have uncamped, and then again let's put the rogue on point, and we every time also have to separately provide information for the point man. So let's venture further. Try searching a bit. There appears to be some kind of building proper to the right, so let's check that out. Tavern, all right. Do you wish to enter? Yes. All right, so people are having a good time at the tavern, it seems. And it did nothing else. I actually believe, from now that remembering from the manual, the tavern actually like deals with loss of morale, because you gradually lose morale and you have to regain it. So it's a bit like modern day, for example, in Darkest Dungeon you also have to deal with morale issues. So actually in this game also your fighters lose morale, so in addition to praying at the temple you have to visit the tavern to regain morale. So also in this respect the game was comparatively modern and rather complicated. We have like a gray marketplace. Closed, come back tomorrow. Ah, yeah, it's night, so marketplace is closed. There's also a house next to the marketplace. It's also a tavern, and we already tried one. Alright, did we get some kind of encounter? Yes. More tugs. Let's still use the quick combat. Only 3 tugs, so considering the last one had like 9, this should be a pretty easy fight. Yes. Everyone is okay, so let's exit camp and keep going. And again, let's put, you always have to separately choose the point man when you leave camp, which is logical but somewhat tedious. So let's keep searching here and there and see if we will find anything interesting. Another tavern, so we are pretty well equipped, at least in this city, in terms of bars. Alright, another encounter, again a tug only, so let's do quick combat for now and beat 5 tugs. We again, large amount of them, we even found some money, so not bad either. And again, we do not for now want to do much else than exit camp and again put the rogue on point with the same lead. Alright, we went around the city wall and arrived back at the inn. Let's see about like the inner courtyard. Alright, the gate also closes for the night, so let's keep going around and see if we can find more tugs. These are not very difficult opponents, but we most probably do get some experience for these fights. Alright, if we try. Alright, first aid. I do not think we are in need of first aid. I thought if that would allow to actually spend the rest of the night, but apparently you do not seem to really have that option. It's always like you can just heal unpoison, pray for healing and such, so you can't really directly improve the time in that sense that it would be day for the gate to be open. So let's keep on taking some encounters and walking around then. And exit camp. Again the same point man. There we go. It's still night, so let's try the outer gate. Is it's also, if it's also by the marketplace closed for the night, we'll see in a moment. Yes, so we actually can't get out of here either until dawn. So let's try for some more tugs. Maybe try the tactical combat proper the next encounter, even if it won't be the most interesting tactical combat, like with 3 tugs or something like that. There we go. Now we try the tactical combat, so choose no for quick combat. And now we have the characters positioned, so we do not need to do anything about that. We see all the characters positioned on screen. Exit placement phase. Now let's move and try to find opponents. This combat system actually gave some ideas for the later Cold Box series of games. That was our priest, so most probably wouldn't have been the best idea to move them too forward, as also with the rogue. So let's move just a couple of spaces, and especially not with the sorcerer. Comparatively, then we of course shall go forward more with the fighters. And let's also move this one. This one was also more of a priest, so let's move Sir Frederick more to the front. Still kind of waiting for opponents. At least they do not appear to be in the building. There's a nice table and all laid out in the building. Alright, let's try to move further forward. Alright, there we have even opponents, and as we can see, this actually has very detailed damage system also, that you actually get specific amounts of damage to the various parts of the body. Let's try. Let's try to heal normal injuries from Sir Frederick, who got hit some by the thugs. Let's see if we can cast like some fancy attack spell. So we do have like, for example, might be nice to try and cast wound. Would sound nice. Let's also heal our rogue, as he had some injuries. And our barbarian hit in the building, so maybe try and get him out if he would agree to move like downwards. There we go, that we are facing correctly. Somewhat confusingly, the sprites do not actually turn to face the viewer, but the facing changes, so it's kind of mildly confusing at first. It's shown in the middle of the arrow pad, but actually the sprite itself doesn't change facing, which confused me for a moment. So it actually doesn't do anything in that respect. Let's see again about trying to cast like wound. So should I now try to select the target, or alright, let's try and attack. There we go, one tack down. Alright, and in turn, let's also here try. We should first apparently change facing to be facing the foe like this. There we go, the combat is actually pretty detailed in the sense that facing actually matters, unlike many things of this type where it either ignores facing or it's at least shown a bit later on. But now that we know this shows the facing, let's try. It's not like attack, it's kill, which is of course quite effective. And alright, light heavy wound to the arm. Very good. So Sir Cole then moves in for another attack. So Let's attack the tug. And let's change facing again. So we are ready to attack the tug. Alright. Defender lies unmoving, so at least pretty close to getting rid of them, and almost at least even getting out from the building with the Mr. Battle Axe. There we go. The building was not very interesting in this case. And yes, alright, Sir Frederick is facing the wrong way, so let's turn to face our foe, and now again attack. Right, as mentioned earlier, this indeed has combat system that kind of was a predecessor to something like Dwarf Fortress or such, where you have detailed damage modeling with which part of the body you hit and what kind of damage, like crushing, bashing, cutting, magic and so on. So it actually matters to hit locations, to what kind of damage, how much bleeding and so on they cause. So actually the combat, especially for the time in 1986, is very tactical and quite complicated comparatively. So let's again attack here. Alright, everyone at least. Let's see, are there more like use the view command or something? Doesn't seem we have more opponents. At least do not think we have, so let's see. At least doesn't seem we can attack anything, so let's see if we move further. Are there actually any more opponents on the field? Let's also unsure what the what command actually does, but would like to somehow know if we have more opponents. Help menu at least gives good list of the commands, which there are quite a few. You can even go prone or do other things that would prevent the hit probability. No, I don't want to flee. I think I'm winning. Let's check out like around the buildings. let's have this guy view, and no result. So let's visit also that building and see if we actually have like any tugs left in there. The barbarian earlier visited the other building, and that certainly had nothing in it. Doesn't seem very interesting, at least yet. So let's also look down here. At least we have like a treasure chest apparently in that building. So let's go there. With a couple of guys, because doesn't seem there is much opposition left, but either the combat doesn't seem to be agreeing to end yet, so at least this building didn't have much in it. So let's turn around and get out. See if there's anything up here. No, I still don't want to flee. I still think I'm winning. So let's continue downwards. So after spinning around a bit, let's then try again, like going in this direction. Kind of uncertain, like would expect the combat to terminate, because there doesn't seem to be more opponents. No, not intending to fall prone. Alright, let's turn around and try also checking inside here. Alright, now the combat decided to end, so we found some money and we are okay. So that was an example of the tactical combat, which especially when facing more difficult foes would seem very important, because you get to set your facing direction and properly use all the spells or items you may have accumulated. So actually the tactical combat works pretty well, other than the sprites do not turn to show the facing, and it seems somewhat unclear when the combat terminates, but otherwise it seems to work very well, especially for the age of the game. So also in that respect. Alright, we apparently do have a problem with any character listed will be destroyed. No, that we don't want to. So do you really want to leave? No, I would then like to do something about that. Like, okay, it certainly is not okay if he is going to be destroyed unless I do something at camp. So that status clearly is not the whole story here. So let's see, like, check, and let's check Sir Frederick. And yeah, at least he's pleading one. That's about the only problem I can see, like missing 2 hit points. So and he doesn't seem to have any other status, and here are only the skills. Morale lost 5, that doesn't sound very worrying, so we should try first, like, pray for healing, for, let's pray with, like, Father John prays, stop normal bleeding. I think we are only suffering from normal bleeding with, like, bleeding of 1. So, like, we do have 1 here, so let's press C, which is also highlighted. Now healing, alright. Can we now leave camp without any losses? No. Alright. Kind of uncertain now, like. Status is okay, so we should not have any poisoning. Do we then still have bleeding? Let's check. Still bleeding 1 and injury 20, so let's try to heal injuries next then. So I don't know if 20 is like grievous injury, so let's then try, like, pray for healing, and let's again have Father John, who sounds very good for, so heal all injury would sound like a good idea. And let's like, yes, status is okay, but it clearly is not okay in the respect of, like, staying alive, so I think the second number is like the serious, and this is only like normal, so let's choose again. And now we clearly have no problem here. And let's also then pray for healing with the other priest Volnar, for, because we also have minor injuries for Father John here, so let's also try and heal him. Now we have no highlighted columns. I would imagine we can now actually leave camp safely. We can also probably test saving the game now and see whether this game has a save system that allows saving game to disk and continuing, or whether it closes the game. So let's test this also at this point. Alright, we can save game without quitting, which also for this time is kind of a boon already, because many games of the day actually would close when you save the game to disk. So now we are leaving camp for real. And now we do not have any problem like that someone would be dying, which is nice, even very nice. And again, let's put the rogue to the lead. It's still night, so let's keep walking around, because we can't get in or out from between. We could also probably invest a bit of time in increasing karma at the temple, so now we have prayed at the temple, so we should have increased karma. We could also walk some to visit a tavern to increase morale, so let's visit the tavern here. There we go, so we have improved morale, and then let's keep on walking because it's still night. No more encounters for a while. It also mentioned in the manual that encounters get less common as you eliminate wandering monsters, which is also pretty advanced for the day, that you actually can improve the situation. Unlike many games, even at this time respawned the monsters every time you left screen, so this is actually quite considerably more developed, that you can actually affect the amount of random encounters by having them. So in many ways I have been surprised at how sophisticated this game is actually for 1986. So let's do quick combat this time. Considering the complexity of the tactical combat, especially against like the thugs, it seems that we didn't get any injuries, for example, this time. So it's clear that the quick combat is like for easy fights, it's a better option, but it would seem that for more difficult fights it would be a better idea to control your characters by hand proper. So let's leave camp. And again, have the rogue leading. Under the grassy spot here, cemetery. Let's try searching the cemetery. Is there anything like we would get to use turn undead ability or something? Nothing found yet. I would imagine the cemetery is kind of more probable to have like dangerous like undead encounters or something. Not yet, at least. It's still night. Ah, now it's dawn, so let's see if the gate to the inner city is open now, and check that out first. Maybe 10 save game. Save game and have another session of this game in the future after checking the inner city out. So here we have armory, so there seem to be also shops proper here in the inner city. Let's see what the armory offers us. Alright, pretty detailed shopping available. Clearly we do have very considerable amount of different equipment. Great sword, claymore, quite nice. Plate mail, 5,000 only. At least for now, do think would need better skills to have more use of the equipment. So here we also have a temple. Town square, alright, what can we do at the town square? Alright, we spent some time watching and listening to the crowds, and nothing happens. Alright. Many shops. Let's see what many shops offer. Money changer. Alright, we do not want to change money currently. Training grounds. Do the training grounds do? Who wishes to train? Alright, let's see if, and we can, let's train short. It cost 324, alright. Not enough money. How much money do we actually have? I haven't yet really found out where we can check the money situation, but that clearly was somewhat expensive to train, especially because it doesn't either, when we find gold, it doesn't even tell like how much we found. It just says found some money. park. Alright. Stay a while and listen, apparently, so let's stay a while and listen. Alright, so you can find out something in game from the stories from the old man in the park, it seems. So literally stay a while and listen. So in the ruined city of Arghan there would be apparently something useful to find. We are not certainly with this party yet going to the ruined city though. So that's pretty much everything to the inner city, it seems. And there's apparently, from the texture I guess, another cemetery. No, it's also a park. It just has different texture to the other park. Let's see if this park has something different. No, it has nothing. Alright. Let's get back to the inn and see how we have advanced character wise. So let's check, for example, the first fighter here, and now we do have like nine copper coins, so no wonder the 342 for training the swordmanship did nothing. Clearly the attacks have not been particularly wealthy. And we have also increased experience. It was like 5 or such, now we have 32. And let's see also about, and he also has increased experience and lost morale, so clearly by just dispatching of the tax we are not going to get rich. We have like 7 copper coins. So this game would appear to have some grind built into it, considering 342 to train and we had like 7 or 9 copper coins. So at least by dispatching only of the tax, growing rich is not very probable. Let's also see others like spanking 2 copper, so clearly very, and 4 copper, so we have already had quite a few fights with the tax and have 9 copper, so we have altogether like maybe 30 copper coins, so 342 to train. Swordmanship above 81, clearly not going to happen with the tugs anytime soon, but actually overall this played surprisingly nicely for the game of this age. So I think we are going to call it for this session and save the game here again. So tell about our deeds to the minstrels and proceed to finish for this time. So there we go again. And having saved the game, we can then turn the computer off as if it was, because it's now saved on disk. Because back in this era for games like this, you had no option to actually exit to the OS. Often you just turned the machine off. Some already at the ST and Amiga era had option to exit to the desktop, but this one doesn't seem. So you would just, in the period, you would save to disk and then just turn your computer off and then boot the game again from the game disk and insert your data disk into the drive to load your game. It's all, so in this respect this would be period correct way to just turn it off in this case. So thank you for watching, and we do have modern game again on Thursday evening. Maybe this time even keeping the schedule, I hope, and having a steady supply of electricity continuing. So thank you once again, and see you on Thursday.